Hello Ayush, welcome to Success Network with Rushan. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you, Rishabh?
I'm good too, thanks for asking. So, as we know that you have graduated from IIT Mandi in 2019 and now you are working as a PhD candidate at Johns Hopkins University in America. So, can you tell us a bit about your career journey from IIT Mandi to Microsoft and then to Johns Hopkins?
You were my batchmate in IIT Mandi, so you know about my career at IIT Mandi. I think, I started to work in the field of computer science when I was in high school. So I decided to pursue my bachelor's there. And by the end of second year, I felt like I didn't want to program anymore. But then I took some courses in machine learning, and I found that okay, this kind of suits my style. So I started working in that domain, and I also found an internship where I got to work on the same domain in Siemens. So that was kind of my plan to keep working in that domain. But there were not many jobs for bachelors in the field of machine learning at that time. So I was planning to do higher studies after the end of my third year, but I didn't know a lot of things, how to go about it and so on. So I decided to continue as a full-time employee at Siemens, where I worked as a research engineer. Then COVID happened and my plans to go for higher studies got delayed. But in any case, I did some research during my undergrad in my final year with MTP and like those projects that you do for bachelors. And that gave me sort of a confidence that I can do research work. So I applied to many universities in the US. I didn't get a lot of callbacks. In fact, I only got one callback from Johns Hopkins. Um, but it was fortunate that I found my advisor who is working in the same domain as I was working on Siemens at that time. So our interests kind of overlapped, and she offered me a PhD position at that time. So since then, I've been working with my advisor on the topic of robustness and like reliability of machine learning applications. So yeah, that has been kind of my journey. You talked about Microsoft. That was during a transition period. So because of COVID, my plans to do a higher studies got delayed. So I was looking at something in the middle to like if this thing doesn't work out, then what would I do? So I switched jobs to Microsoft as a data scientist. It was also a similar kind of position, but then I got this PhD opportunity. So I had to leave my job at Microsoft. Yeah, that has been kind of the journey.
Okay, that's quite a great journey to think about. So, what's the most valuable lesson or skill you gained during your time at IIT Mandi?
I think so. Apart from all the usual engineering skills, I think IT Mandi has a great. I don't know about right now, but at that time it had a great curriculum where you worked on a lot of variety of things, and you don't only stick to your own course of study like computer science. You got to explore other areas as well. So I think apart from all of that, like a holistic college education, one thing which you probably learn a lot during your third year kind of is that you need to give your all in one particular field to be to be able to stand out and be marketable as an employee or something. You can't rely on your like if you go to an IIT, you were probably decent in academics and you have been in school and everything. So you probably don't have to work as hard, but when you go to this kind of institute and you see a lot of productive people around, I think that gives you the motivation to keep working hard and go all in one domain. I think that is one of the skills that I learned.
That's inspiring. So, how did your time at IIT Mandi help you get to a direct admission in PhD in America?
Yeah, so like I was telling you, at the end of second year, I didn't want to just keep programming anymore. I actually thought about going towards a more business side because I liked the courses. I took an economics course and so on. But then when I learned about machine learning, I did more courses. One of the professors there, Aditya Nigam, he still teaches deep learning there. So he got me very excited about this field, and I decided to take up my B.Tech project with him. So that was very nice. Like it's a 1 year project, so you delve deep into a problem, you try so many things, and you fail on many things, but you get an idea of what it is to do research. And that probably helped in creating my whole profile for the PhD. Also, I did a project with him in my seventh semester, I think. No, it was actually the last semester, eighth semester, which resulted in a publication where I also went to present my poster. So that gave me a confidence that okay, I can publish papers and so on. I don't know about right now. I think it is much more competitive to get into a PhD program, especially in a field like machine learning. But yeah, at that time it was more or less sufficient if you had some prior research experience, and I was able to do that with some of my professors there. So I think that helped me get an admission. I'd say like apart from that, I got a job outside which where I also did some research, so that probably helped as well.
Okay, thanks for that. And what role do you think academic institutions like IIT Mandi play in shaping global leaders and change makers?
Hmm. Global leader and change maker. So I don't think like institutes in India they particularly prepare you to be like leaders and change makers. If I talk about my undergrad experience, I think many people just wanted to get internships and jobs. That was the whole thing around there. But I think because you are in contact with many smart people and because of your IIT tag, you get to meet many people who may be leader potentials and so on. And you also get exposure at the international level. And the college makes you feel like you can do something. Like nothing is impossible, kind of. So so I would say there is nothing in particular about IIT Mandi which probably shaped someone there as a global leader or change maker. There were some courses like design practicum and stuff, which kind of motivated you to build your own thing and become like a leader in your space. There was also some entrepreneurship activities in our college, but it was not a lot of the focus which people were looking at. I think most of the third years and fourth years, which are like senior undergrad people, they were mostly looking at job prospects. So it is not exactly like a leadership thing that was the college culture. It may be a better culture in other IITs, but I would say it is much, much better than other institutes because I had friends in other institutes who told me that there's not even this kind of culture of competitive, like growing up together and like learning many things. So, so I think as leaders, it is much more about the network that you get from an institute like IIT Mandi, which can shape you as a leader rather than what you learn at the college itself.
And can you recall a funny or memorable incident from your IIT Mandi days that still make you smile?
I mean, there's so, so many. I don't know why this incident comes to my mind right now. Do you remember where there was what is it called? Where you matki for competition?
Yeah,
I think we
yeah,
were in second year or something,
yeah.
and so there were a lot of videos that were made for that event, and a group of our friends were just scrolling through those videos, and and we were looking at the reactions of other people doing dances and stuff, and sometimes someone was dancing and then the music stops and they were like, what? So I think that was kind of funny. I don't know, there's so many where that I can't recall any particular moment which was very funny or memorable. I think
Understand.
memorable in the sense that which made me feel good was also during my sports time. I used to play with the cricket team, and also I used to do some athletic competitions and so on. I think that was also memorable.
Okay, that's nice to know that. And what has been your proudest achievement so far and why?
Proudest achievement. Oh, this is a tough one. I mean, I feel proud in the sense that uh, it's not exactly proud, but I feel happy that I'm able to work on problems and study new stuff, learn new stuff, and get paid for it, which is something I really enjoy. And it's kind of a privilege. So I would say the best thing is probably getting an admission in the PhD program. Although it feels a lot of work and sometimes it's very hard, but at the end of the day, you're getting paid to study and learn new things and uh, explore things in as much detail as you want, which is a privilege that I feel proud of.
So, if you could give one piece of advice to your younger self, what would it be?
Hmm. Younger self. Okay, I will choose one thing. Like, I feel I manage things well, but I still feel there's one thing which I lack, and which is like doing a lot of hard work. So I would tell my younger self to build those habits. Like, you need to wake up at some time, whatever feels nice for you, but you need to get in the habit of working 8 hours a day as early as possible. And that work could be anything that you want, but you should have the habit. And as soon as you get into that habit, you will see that things start to get shape around you, and you will feel good at the end of the day and the end of the week. And if you can stay focused like that for 1 week, you will see that you have achieved a lot more for the month that you would by just relying on like bursts of productivity from time to time. So yeah, I would say like building habits of working 8 hours a day would be something that I would want my younger self to make, so that I have those habits right now. I still work hard to make those habits for me.
Even if you have graduated from an IIT and you are doing PhD from America, still you feel that you could have worked harder?
Yeah, I mean, the fact that you and I are from an IIT, it's not like, so getting into IITs has less to do with, I don't know, like your intelligence quotient, but more to do with how much you can manage the stress around that exam and stuff like that. So I think it requires hard work, but I would say the most hard work that I have done in life is during my IIT preparation, which was for 1 year, around 1 year. So I would like to get that back, because once you go into an IIT, the society makes you feel that okay, you have achieved something, and you kind of slack off a little. And I felt that because most people who go there, they have a habit of getting things done quickly, and they have this advantage, so they don't rely a lot on your process of doing hard work. Rather, they rely on these bursts of good productivity levels, which can get them through the day or whatever the job is. So I think that is one of the disadvantages that comes out of being at that kind of place. Let's say you are not at this kind of a place, then you have no other option but to work hard. So I think that is one skill that is actually decorrelated with where you are studying and so on. And it's not like IITs are like supreme or whatever, but I think that is one habit which could be uh, which I personally could have done better. There are many people who work really hard even there.
Get it? Okay. So, what advice would you give to students or young professionals, for that matter, aspiring to follow a similar path as yours?
Similar path in the sense of doing going to graduate school.
Yeah, pursuing PhD in the later education.
Yeah, I think the value of PhDs. So for me, I wanted to do a PhD because I wanted to explore some problems which I could not explore, one, independently, and two, even with, uh, like I was working at Microsoft and I was working with machine learning models and everything, but I can't explore them in the depth that I would want, so that like go at theoretical level and figure out why something works, why something doesn't. So that was one of the reasons I wanted to do it. And the other reason was like I kind of enjoy teaching a little bit. So this is like a very personal decision whether to do a PhD or not. The degree itself has some advantages in life, like you get more breadth of job opportunities and so on. But I would not recommend getting a PhD just for like those job opportunities, because this is a 5 year commitment, and those 5 years, if you work 8 hours a day and do something, 5 years are sufficient to achieve anything you want. If you have a similar motivation as myself, then I would say like you start early. If you have a similar motivation as myself, then you would have some sort of similar thought process during your undergrad as well. So the most important thing to do at that time is utilize your hours and pick up good projects, pick up projects which have more chances of success. And don't try like at that time it may feel like, okay, I can pick this hard problem. Maybe someone like, this is an unsolved computer science problem, I want to tackle it in my undergrad. I don't think that's the best of idea, because it's very unlikely that you'll be able to solve that problem during your undergrad. And what might happen as a result is that you drop the whole academic line altogether because you got demotivated. So it's important to pick problems which are solvable, work hard on them, and the most important thing is to just work hard and get to a point that you are in the flow of things. You are doing things daily, and everything else comes around by itself, I think. So it's important to just get into the habits of doing hard work and picking your projects which have a higher chances of success. And then it is about how you feel at the moment. If you want to do a PhD, if you want to work in academia, or if you want to waste 5 years of your life, then yeah, go for it. I think young professionals who are in the industry, and if they want to come to the US just for like better job opportunities and stuff, I don't think PhD is the right way to do it. I think you can get away with a master's, and master's is a good option to come here. But that being said, I think currently AI is making everything a little uncertain. Like, what are the future job prospects in what industry and so on. So yeah, it's hard to say what's the right path for young professional. If you are feeling satisfied with your job, or if you want something better, it depends on that, or whether you should do it. But yeah, definitely not a PhD if you don't have those clear motivations, which are long-term goals, or just like if you don't care about money and so on, then you should go into a PhD.
Okay. And what career advice would you give to an engineering student who is aspiring to go to work in huge company like Microsoft or maybe Google for that matter?
So it depends where you are and what kind of job.
Maybe computer science engineer who is looking to get into the tech giants.
Yeah, so at the moment, like I said, for your previous question, because of AI, there is a lot of uncertainty. I would say, like, the best advice for any engineering student right now would be to build something. Like, go and do something that you enjoy using. Like, build a product that you enjoy using. Doesn't matter what that is. But if you are looking to get a job into a big tech company, then you probably need that to be a software product. So make a software product that you enjoy using, other people around you would enjoy using. And that will make you learn about the subtleties of things, like what is software system design, what is UX design, and so on, which are very important skills. So even if the coding part of the job gets deferred to, let's say, an AI, you would still have skills which are important, which is a system design level skill and so on. So I would say, like, if you are a first year or second year, go all in on one of these projects. And it may work out that maybe that project itself becomes into like a product that you can focus full time on. But in either case, you would get so many, you learn so many skills, and you will have a lot of knowledge about stuff which is not just coding. Because I see a lot of people in the college scene, they'll just do like lead code and competitive programming, which is good to lend you a job in many places. But I think many of those skills may not be as relevant as some of the others, like system design skills that you may need to get a job, and a decent job in good companies. And with this AI and stuff, the coding abilities are definitely going to get shortcut by AI. So you cannot rely on just your pure coding skills. You need to have an idea of what a product of some works like. And if you are going into big tech, that scale could be like billions of users at once. So you need to think at that level. So I would say, like, build a product. Just like take 4 years. Don't do anything unnecessary. build a project on the side for 4 years and see what happens.
So, lastly, where can our viewers find you or learn more about your work?
Yeah, so you can just Google my name and you'll find Aayush Mishra, JHU, and I have a website, so which will have a link to my Google Scholar, where you can learn more about my recent works, and also other websites where you can contact me, like Facebook.
Thank you so much, Ayush. It was nice talking to you. Have a nice day.
Yeah, nice to talk to you, man. And okay, see you.
See you. Bye.